Hi, loves, and welcome in. Before we dive into today's message, I want to take a moment to thank every single one of you for the incredible energy you bring to this space. Your likes, your comments, the way you support each other in the chat, and those of you who have trusted me with your personal readings. It all creates this beautiful web of connection that I'm so grateful to be part of. Remember, as always, to trust your own intuition while you listen. These collective messages are meant to find the people who need them most. Today, we're channeling what the person on your mind would say if they were being completely honest. No masks, no pride, no careful editing. Just raw truth from their heart to yours. Spirit opened this reading with 5 message card pairs that paint a complete emotional portrait. And I have to tell you, what came through feels so vulnerable, so real, that I could almost hear the tremor in their voice as these words formed. When are we going to progress this to the next level? Clarified by, can we go somewhere private? Right out of the gate, we're hearing impatience mixed with longing. This person has been holding back for so long that the question is practically burning in their throat. They've been watching, waiting, analyzing every interaction for signs that you might be ready for something deeper. But here's what's beautiful about the clarifier. Can we go somewhere private? It's not just about physical space. They're craving emotional privacy, a sacred container where they can finally drop the act. They may fantasize about the moment they get you alone, away from friends, away from social expectations, away from the noise, just so they can look in your eyes and ask, what is this between us? For some, this could be literal, wanting to take you somewhere meaningful, planning the perfect setting. For others, it's energetic privacy they crave, that intimate space where truth is safe and judgment dissolves. The desperation underneath this question hints at months, maybe years, of wondering. They've probably rehearsed this conversation in their head countless times. They know what they want to say, they just haven't found the courage or the right moment to say it. I don't understand you, clarified by, throw caution to the wind. This pairing reveals so much about their internal conflict. On one hand, they're genuinely confused by you, not in a negative way, but in that beautiful, intimidating way where someone captivates you precisely because you can't figure them out. You might be naturally mysterious, or you might carry yourself with a confidence that feels magnetizing yet unreachable. They study your energy, your reactions, trying to decode what makes you tick. Sometimes they think they've figured you out, then you surprise them again. It's intoxicating and maddening at the same time. But the clarifier, throw caution to the wind, is their inner voice fighting back against overthinking. It's the part of them that whispers, stop trying to solve them like a puzzle and just be real. They know, on some level, that understanding comes through connection, not analysis. They're telling themselves to risk the vulnerability of just showing up authentically instead of trying to strategize their way into your heart. This is someone who's probably naturally analytical, maybe an earth sign, maybe someone whose job requires careful planning. But you make them want to leap before they look, and that scares them as much as it thrills them. Feeling lost, clarified by, I fear you have turned me into a fantasy I can't live up to. Here we hit the core wound, and Spirit placed it right at the center of the reading because this is the heart of everything else. They feel emotionally displaced, like they're wandering in their own life. The feeling lost isn't just about the relationship, it's about identity, purpose, self-worth. They may have built their sense of self around being needed, being helpful, being the one who has answers, but you've stirred something in them that makes all their old coping mechanisms feel inadequate. The clarifier is devastating in its honesty. I fear you have turned me into a fantasy I can't live up to. This is imposter syndrome in love. During the time you've been apart or keeping distance, they've idealized you, romanticized the connection, maybe even convinced themselves that you see them as more than they actually are. Now they're trapped between desire and terror. They want to reach out, but what if the reality can't match the dream? What if they disappoint you? What if you've moved on to someone who actually deserves the pedestal they've put you on? This fear often comes from childhood experiences of not being enough, never quite meeting expectations, feeling like love was conditional on performance. So now, when they encounter real, unconditional connection, they don't trust it. They assume there must be some test they haven't passed yet. Wishing on a star, clarified by push to a decision. The romanticism in their heart is battling against practical pressure. Wishing on a star is hope in its purest form, that magical thinking we retreat to when logic can't solve everything. They catch themselves daydreaming about outcomes, about timing aligning, about the universe conspiring to bring you together. Maybe they make wishes at 11:11, or they find themselves praying to whatever higher power they believe in for a sign, a green light, anything that says it's safe to try again. But Spirit shows push to a decision as the clarifier, meaning external circumstances or internal pressure is forcing their hand. This could be practical. Someone else is interested in you, or their own situation is changing in a way that won't allow for indefinite waiting. It could also be emotional. The tension between action and inaction is becoming unbearable. They're realizing that wishing without doing is just another form of hiding. The universe might be conspiring, but they still have to show up and play their part. Fighting how I feel about you, clarified by, I have unhealed childhood trauma. The final confession is perhaps the most important because it explains everything that came before it. They're at war with their own heart. Every feeling that surfaces about you gets met with internal resistance. Logic that says it's too risky, patterns that say they don't deserve it, trauma responses that say closeness equals danger. The clarifier is raw, clinical honesty. I have unhealed childhood trauma. They're self-aware enough to recognize that their fear of intimacy, their tendency to self-sabotage, their need to maintain control, it all traces back to wounds that have nothing to do with you. This could be abandonment wounds that make them afraid to invest fully. It could be neglect that taught them they're not worth fighting for. It could be criticism that convinced them they'll never be enough. It could be enmeshment that makes healthy boundaries feel like rejection. The beautiful thing about this confession is the awareness it contains. They're not using their trauma as an excuse. They're naming it as the obstacle it is. They know they need to do the work, but they also know that healing happens in relationship, not isolation. Part of them hopes that loving you and being loved by you might be part of their healing journey, but they're terrified of hurting you with their unresolved pain or of using you as a therapist instead of a partner. When we step back and look at all 5 confessions together, we see someone caught between profound desire and paralyzing self-doubt. They want to progress the relationship. They want privacy and intimacy. They want to throw caution to the wind, but they're fighting their own nervous system every step of the way. This is likely someone whose childhood taught them that love is earned, not given freely. So when they encounter you, someone who seems to see them clearly and care anyway, they don't know how to receive it without questioning it. They're trapped in the gap between their wounded child and their awakening adult. The child says, "Run before you get hurt." The adult says, "This is what you've been waiting for." The battle between these voices is exhausting, which is why they feel so lost and why they keep fighting their own feelings. But here's what's beautiful. Their honesty itself is healing. The fact that they can name their trauma, acknowledge their patterns, and admit their fears means they're already further along in their growth than they realize. If Spirit wanted to show what this person would say with complete honesty, this is it. A soul caught between fear and love, trauma and healing, fantasy and reality, but brave enough to at least name the battle, even if they haven't won it yet. So there you have it, loves. 5 raw, unfiltered confessions from someone who's been carrying these words for far too long. This is someone who desperately wants to bridge the gap between where they are and where you are, but they're doing battle with wounds that whisper they're not worthy of the love they crave. The beautiful thing is their self-awareness. They know their patterns, they recognize their trauma, and they're brave enough to admit that the fight is happening. If this resonates as your person, know that their silence isn't indifference, it's overwhelm. They're not avoiding you, they're avoiding the possibility of disappointing you. But Spirit's message is clear. Healing happens in connection, not isolation. Sometimes the very love we're afraid we don't deserve becomes the medicine that teaches us we do. Whether this unfolds into reunion or simply gives you the closure you needed, trust that their honesty, even unspoken, is already shifting the energy between you. Thank you so much for being here, for trusting me to channel these messages, and for creating such a beautiful community of souls supporting each other's journeys. If this reading spoke directly to your situation, please like and subscribe so your energy stays connected to future messages. That's how Spirit knows where to find you when the next confirmation is ready. And if you'd like to go deeper into your specific connection, to understand their timeline, your soul contract, or what healing looks like for both of you, personal readings are open now. All the details are in the description below. Keep honoring your intuition, protecting your peace, and remembering that you're worthy of love that doesn't require you to dim your light. I'll see you in the next reading.